So those two things that happened are the epitome of the issue with your fight.
Yep.
All right. So when you were both on your knees, you turned this way to get to try to pull your sword around to her back.
Yep.
But when you did it, look what you do to your back.
Yep.
Right. And she was just like, as soon as she saw this shoulder come forward, she knew the back door was open. Probably not even consciously. Right. Probably just she saw that rotate and she's like, oh, boom, I got that. And she didn't hit you by like a little bit. Like your back was wide open, wide open. And then the last one is exactly what's wrong with your fight, right? You went here.
Yeah.
You went boom, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Because you put right into her pocket.
Yeah.
No, it's not that you stopped.
Okay.
You're gonna have to stop a combo.
Yeah.
The fact is, when you rely on pace to control a fight, when you're relying on that flurry, there's going to be pauses that they take advantage of. And if you're flat-footed and you're standing in the wrong spot, that's when you die.
Okay.
And that's when you die a lot.
Yeah.
Your issue is your angles are super basic. So let me show you that. And I've showed you this before, but you're going to want to see it again. So come here. Can I throw in here?
Yeah.
So we're here, right? And I'm trying to hit fruit, right? And I'm doing it from a hanging guard like you are, right? So we're here, right? Ready? See how fast I'm throwing? Pretty fast, pretty hard, right? We're there? Go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I did was instead of throwing it back in guard, instead of throwing here, right? I moved my hilt here and threw up here. Bam. You're doing that, but you're doing it over here, right? Which is another angle. That's Conrad's like favorite angle, right? But that inside one plays off of him because now I start to move and I see what he does with his shield, right? If I don't, as soon as he pops that shield out to try to take that angle, I come back to the inside, bam, and it's that all day. But those angles come from the beginning of that shot. When we are taught shots, we are taught this is a flat snap, this is an offside, this is a leg shot, maybe this is an offside leg shot, maybe. This is a wrap. But notice what they're all doing. They're all firing one angle right from here. They're all this, right? But what happens when you play with that angle? Let's say I don't want to hit him in the face over here, I want to hit him in the back of the head. Well, now I have to do this, right? I stretch my arm out, and I change the shot mechanic from a push here to like a rotate this way. Right?
That rotational force is your killing power.
Right. What you need to work on and what you don't get, right? Part of it is that pressure, and part of it is that angle, right? You moved into an inherently dangerous place when you attacked her, right? So I'm gonna let's do it on the outside so that there's more space here. I'm gonna do what you did.
Okay.
Don't hit me because I'm not hurting.
Yeah.
But I want you to just feel how it makes you feel.
Okay.
And then I'm going to improve it.
Okay.
Right? Ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah. My brain is telling me to throw the shot that you threw. 100%.
Yeah. Ready? Cool. Feel the difference?
Yes.
Can you explain the difference?
So I guess your third movement, you didn't go to a dangerous place. You went to a place that's an advantage to you. That made me want to move.
Right. Slower. I'm never here.
Yeah.
Right? I'm dancing around. Let's pull it back inside now. So I'm gonna layer some of what I taught you already with your feet. So do you remember what I've taught you guys with your feet and where you want to be?
Foot angles like outside.
Outside, right? So surround the outside leg, right? Or cut the center line and take power in the center. But when you take power in the center, get back in guard. The difference there, remember, you came to here, you're still powerful, right? Like you can fight back from here. Come to here, now you can't as much.
Yeah.
Right, you feel that?
Yeah.
In addition to that, I want you to kind of imagine that instead of like a sword that he's moving around, he's got a ball of energy, right? and it radiates this kind of influence, this power, right? And it's a ball, right? Because that's the way the sword arcs. Right? So when I'm here, right, notice how that ball, I'm at the edge of that ball's range over here, right? And it's sort of dangerous, but not quite. But as soon as I step to here, now that ball, like I'm centered right on the energy of that ball, right? And it has like 6 different angles it can attack me from. Right? That's very dangerous, like you're right in the heart of that danger zone. Right? But what happens when I just do this? Now once again, I'm at the edge. He can fire from here, but he's got to pull across his own hip, and he's got to fight his body this way. Right? So I've kind of cut half of the angles that are going on that he can attack me with. So now I know what other ones he can attack me with, right? So it eliminates the things I have to deal with from him, right? On the same time, I'm increasing my chances because when you look at it, not only did I go away from where his ball is, but I put my ball here. Now its energy, its center is right where it can move to a bunch of different spots at once, right? Make sense? When he catches up with that hip, so he pulls that hip to face me, I can either keep fighting this way, right? Or if he bring that hip forward to come back in line, now I'm bad again, right? I'm in the center of his ball. He's not on, he is on mine, but he's got the shield there to cut it. So now I come back the other way. Boom. And notice when I do, I put my hand right to where it can push, and I use that as a fulcrum this way. Bam. Because now I'm controlling his. And now once again, he doesn't really have a good angle on me here. His hips are pointed that way. The ball's energy is over here. I'm outside of it, outside of the sphere. Right? Make sense? So think of that force, kind of like Bronis's pressure, right? And avoid it, or intersect it, but mostly avoid it. Right? Make sense? Okay. Make sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Harder with him because he's got 2 balls. They're massive. Go fight a little more.
I don't think
Does that make sense?
But it helped me ask Tom a question that I needed words for.
Stop. You came straight up the center, right?
I can't do anything.
That was bad, right? All right.
She'll forward the crossover center line.
Here,
The
and
strength
then
of crossing
if I feel like you relax,
I'm not sure.
then I can try to do something. So I'm like, if you're gonna be relaxed, I know when I'm exploding into you. You can't explode into me. So I'm already relaxed. You're already exploding. Yeah, I mean, I could have you all trapped and I could go. Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna be pushy, right?
So
Yeah, we're
anything
fighting.
that is
So
slow
give me tension
percentage,
there. Right?
I feel it.
Right?
Some of it was
Sorry, I was
the
just
shed,
thinking
like,
what you did.
that's your tension. That was like
So, alright, so like, it's still kind of on the front leg, but you're,
So this is like a safe spot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you want to look at it energy-wise too, think about this, ignore this, because that's dangerous. But this, it wants to push here, right? What if I'm here? Or it wants to push there? Was that good? Or did he get hurt?
No, it was good.
She got him?
Yeah,
Okay, I
it
thought
did, it did slide a little, but.
And she changed the angle on it, right?
But it chunked, she did the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what covers too much of the like, what she's doing is to get these like
Yeah. Those were both very nice, Litha. Very close.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's moving her hand.
And
Yeah,
her
it was
missing-
correct. It's
her-
just not the power.
Her missing shots like that is just the elbow growth. And
right, take 5.
Hey, Frug, question for you. Are you tired or frustrated?
I think so.
You look like you're not getting things to
in,
work
guys.
quite right.
Come out of the
Yeah,
ring.
come out of the ring. But you don't look like you went earlier. You were flowing through combos. You were flowing through your fights, and now you're throwing crisp but hard
Fantastic
individual
shoulder
shots.
drop.
Yeah,
That
you're
was
kind of
like
bang,
fucking
like you're not flowing or you're not.
You're this
Which usually means either you're
except you
frustrated
hit
or
him
you're
with the
tired.
tail end.
Not
So,
either.
getting guard.
My brain's going a million
You
miles
watch
an hour.
and feel this.
My arms are slowing down. Yeah,
Gotcha.
So you're
Alright.
here and
Yeah,
you're
that's fair too.
because I'm
You're trying to
analyze.
You needed to do this.
There's gonna be a little paralysis
sense.
by
So,
analysis
not-
when
not
the info dumping on you like this. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. And I was sort of letting it happen too.
Yep.
I was
So
like,
you're
okay,
kind of like
what's going
pushing
on?
down.
What can I see? What can I?
I'll tell you,
you're not
one
just
of
floating
the
it,
great things
actively
about
pushing
fighting
with that
her
top thumb.
is that
Okay.
Make sense?
she
Yeah, that
gets
makes a lot of sense
technique
with my
put all
offside
over
is,
her
like, all
Yeah.
all
like,
the time.
every
And so the
time.
things she's
And I'm
hitting
starting
you
to get-
with are really
Yeah,
like
because you hit
watch
I
the
mean, it was
video,
nice because
like
you
some
didn't
of her
throw
technique
this,
stuff was
right? You
really
saw the
good.
hole and you threw it
And,
right here like
and
this.
seeing that
right,
come
but
at
you pulled off when you
will
hit.
help you
Right,
gain
makes
it.
sense.
And
But that was nice.
again,
That's how I
video,
showed something.
you'll
Yeah.
see.
I'm excited for it.
Think how?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw some shots on her. I just want you to watch, and you see the difference in how it plays out. Now this is gonna be grossly unfair because she can't move or she
Yeah.
can't fire back,
Yeah.
but you'll get the point. Block 'em.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm like, there's no way that should have hit. That was the example. That was like the baseline. All right, ready? Did you see what I did there?
Did you rotate your left leg around your right leg?
So
So you,
I was making a habit and
Yeah.
forcing a pattern where I'm here, and every time I step and throw,
yeah,
boom, step, throw, and the way I'm moving away from her sword, remember, and under her shield, with that high angle, what does she have to do?
follow.
What do you have to do?
I mean, I keep blinding myself.
You keep blinding yourself.
Oh, okay.
So in that last one, what did I do? Just that
Just
pause.
hesitation. Okay.
Just that pause.
Yeah.
She blinds, recovers, boom, it's there. And
Same
that's
turn.
just a small timing thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But notice I'm changing that angle, right? I'm not just coming and throwing that flat snap at the same pace, same time every time, right? I cut and change the angle to up over here. Changing it to up over here, she knows from experience she has to lift that corner up, and I can duck under the corner,
Yeah.
right? That's evolving a game plan. That's saying when I do this thing, it forces them to do something. Make sense?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right. And that last one, like there was no blocking, right? Like once I had that timing set up, wide open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wide open when you put your hand in the right spot to throw.
Right. That's the whole point. That
Yeah.
all of that together
You're
is
working
how
at
that
it.
works. Yeah. You actually did a good job of. I wanted to take advantage of what I was doing the other night, where I just moved to a spot and you completely shut down, and I could one shot you easy, and you didn't do that. Part of that might have been because you couldn't throw back, so your brain was
Full
fixated
defense.
more on defense.
Yeah.
But you didn't give me that hole, and you had been for the last couple months, so that's good on your part.
Yay.
All right.
Chris.
So I'm going to show you something else too. All right. So and this is for all of you. We're here.
I'm gonna put that in there.
Hey,
Right.
put the light.
No, back up a little bit. Right. So I'm here.
Yeah.
Nothing. Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Step here. Here. Well in range. Well in range. But not much of a change, right? It's just a little wiggle step.
Yeah.
Right. Did I talk to like the basics of footwork of like how you're supposed to be moving one the foot? The foot on the side that moves is the one that wants to move first. Make sense?
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to threaten the zone down here. And then you make that adjustment, come right back to here. Now notice how that like offset me from your energy ball.
Yeah.
Right? Right here was squared up, we're even.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. I moved closer and at the same time, I'm in a better spot. My energy's in a better spot than yours is. Does that make sense? And it's just that little quick step. Boom, boom. Bam. Now that recentering, right? Super safe. Super safe to do, and it controls that range really well. And if they don't respect it, or they do something different, boom. Now I'm here. I make that next step.
Here, hold on a sec. Yeah, where I can actually see it. Because there's gear and stuff in the way.
So, boom, boom, and then back. But this time it's a drag step, right? So this is just a simple boxing step. Boom, 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 right? Forward, backwards. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So I go boom, boom. Now this one's a drag pivot. So this one I step again with this one. And now now I'm outside your leg. Right. And that can especially come in handy if you combine it with your sword work. Right? So we're here. Boom, boom. You notice how when I kicked for this offside,
it made me want to freeze.
It pins this hip, right? Because you have to receive force. So your body tenses to receive that force, and then I use that tension to maneuver on you. Boom. Makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do that without even touching you.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're not even in armor, I can't actually hit you, and you still did it, right?
And my lizard brain put all of my weight on the ball of my foot.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And it'll do that. Like even at all levels of fighting, I do that too, right?
Yeah.
Next thing that you definitely need to, and you should at some point write this stuff down. Not necessarily in detail, just a reminder of the concept so that you can remember it and put it back in your own words. You are, remember how I said the foot that moves first, most of the time is the one that you want, is the direction you want to go in. I fucked up the way I phrased that. I want to go forward, I move my lead leg first.
Yeah.
I want to go backwards, I move my back leg first.
Yeah.
This way, this way.
Yeah.
Most of the time. There are times when I do that, remember, why do you do that switch step? Because that's how I want to lead. But for the most part, that should be your default behavior, right? Yours isn't. When you're getting guard, you're pressed and you want to back up.
Oh,
You're not doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You come
Weird.
up.
Yeah.
That makes you not dangerous because you're not seated. And then you step. That entire time your foot is in the air, you are not dangerous. Right? So.
Yeah, that was a weird reaction.
So, well, I mean, that's the way we walk through life, right? I walk through life one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
It's just not good for fighting, right? So, press me and you'll feel what it feels like. Go ahead. Press me. No. Press me like you want to get on. All right. Now again, press me. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
How I'm in that fight?
Yes.
Whereas when I'm just running backwards, I'm not in that fight.
Yeah.
I might get a lucky clip, but even half of those will be too light because I'll be on my toes and I'll be leaning backwards too much. Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
So work on not walking backwards. Work on keeping your butt to the ground and moving. Boom, boom. And notice I didn't just move straight. I kicked off this way, and when you turned your hips, I did the thing I told you about, right? And I came back this way. And if you see that later on the video, you'll see how open you are when I did that.
Okay. I felt open.
Yeah. You guys understand? I know it's a little different with the two sword, but are you good for more? For fighting more?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, more information. I don't know if my brain
No,
would
that's
do
all
that.
right. Please stop talking to me. I get that a lot.
No, please keep talking to me, but please keep recording.
People
it
tell
so
you
I
to
can
stop
hear
talking?
it later.
That's a thing?
It really hurts when it's in the bar. Please.
I wasn't aware there was an option not to talk. This might be the quietest I've been all week.
I don't know, you slept a lot.
Usually I don't talk in my sleep, so.
I'm still happy about the game next time.
This fun? Good game? Kate says she wants to come over next time. So. Sure.
You have a game where you have you get random words that you get 2 words and you have to write 1 word that other people will figure out which 2 words connect to make the 1 word you wrote. So the 2 words I had to connect, 1 word was drawing and the other word was sausage. And I'm thinking like that Pixar movie or like what am I? And I'm like, no, because you can only really write like one word or maybe like a concept if it's like The Shining or something. I wrote raffle, and it was food.
You wrote what?
Raffle. Raffle? Raffle.
For like a meat raffle.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
I would have said straight, but I like it.
Liz instantly was like, they have meat raffles here, and I'm like, oh yes, and then
It's like my special
drawing
Halloween
took
game.
a little longer, but
It's like a fun game.
it's a fun game.
It's a cool game.
It's also an interesting game that like this game is so much fun, and then you're like, I'm done.
Yeah. My brain is brained out.
Yeah, pretty much. You hit like a stopping point where it's not as
Not quite on the arm.
I've already
I
hit
get
my
that
stopping
during
point, Lars.
prejudice.
What?
I've already hit
It's
it.
not fun anymore.
It's the exact same
I think the
thing.
example was enough for me. But then I don't like Scrabble or any of the other ones either.
It's not like Scrabble. It's
It
different.
involves words. Yeah, therefore it involves things I don't want to deal with in the game.
It's cool tangential thinking because sometimes you get words that don't really mesh together well at all. Like I had to do grate and spider, and I think yeah, and I'm like, how do you connect those? And I think I ended up saying shower, and they got it.
For a
But
great spider.
no, not great like really good, like great like sewer grate,
Like what?
like sewer grate.
Oh, great. G-R-A-T. Yeah.
I
Sheila.
looked it up on my phone to make sure I didn't.
Oh, yeah, for great.
Yeah, because she's underground.
Maybe. Yeah. But there's a lot of, I mean, there's other words you have to, it's like 4 sets of these words. So.
Plus, she's a great spider. So if someone said great versus great, would you
Oh, we
know?
were playing with.
I forgot who Sheila was.
Oh,
I know
Your
now
nerd-
'cause
your
Liz-
nerd credit
Liz
is
read it
revoked.
last night,
So
but-
she's 17.
no nerd cred for you.
She didn't read the book. She won't know. But Lars didn't like know off the top of his head.
That surprises me. That's why I thought.
Well, he read them, but he's not like he doesn't fanboy about stuff like that. So
Fan by over Twilight.
We can't be friends. You are saved only by your dark tower.
You know, if you go far enough to be all the way to the neighbors, we can just look at the tiny, tiny pixels of you fighting.
You'd say that less sassy.
Nope.
Ooh, you're treading on thin ice there, Ferg.
Come on, furry sprinkles, get them.
Also, no.
Okay.
A lot of your stuff is.
it was he was
I mean,
he
you're
was
making
nipping
me
at
move
range.
as I'm throwing. So.
Okay, it's just none of it's feeling
He
really
needs
good.
to push with his hand when he does that, not straight
It,
down.
but it was
Yeah.
well attempted. Hey, if you didn't have a thrust think it might have come.
Shut up, Conrad.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice.
Is that the helmet?
Maybe, but it probably skipped.
I don't think so.
Yeah. It was loud, that's all. Good leg.
If you don't want to fight, you don't have to.
All good.
What happened there?
Yeah.
The demigauntlet screwing it up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Marcus, because buying titanium armor, I thought he said he'd make me dummy and just sit there and mess up my
Fergus
sword.
has too much weight on his muscles.
Not mine. and maybe one super low profile, and on the right hand, that little piece of the back cup is leather so that it won't bind. I still do it.
I don't like that. That's in my hand.
But part of it is, I didn't even realize how much until I put it on. I use the friction of my glove inside the brass stick to some degree to control the stick. And just the slidiness of the titanium drove bananas.
Somebody say bananas.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a nice exchange.
Yeah. He had a legitimate shot at it too.
All right, take 5.
You gonna chat?
A little bit.
You did a nice job of counterpunching there. You got off first some, and that was effective. And then you when he did go first, it felt like he went first, and you were in control and were able to fire back very effectively. That was really well done.
Yeah. It felt that way in the helmet.
Right. And so your challenge is when you feel that happening is, all right, he's counterpunching me, and me and Lars, you've played this game at times, is so, okay, you trigger him the counterpunch, move like you're coming, and then don't go and let him counterpunch. But now you're just sitting, waiting for the counterpunch. You block it, and then you fire, and then you fire.
Okay.
And then he, realizing that, tries to get you to trigger the way he wants you to.
Yeah.
He gets into this game of who can make who go first, and eventually at some point one of you is best served by just throwing a shot because the other one's just waiting for all this stuff to happen and you can just get away with, I'm just gonna throw because they're waiting for 5 shots from now.
Yeah. You lost that when you committed your feet to the center. So you go, yeah, I don't know if you got a taste in or what, but when you jumped on it and threw two, 3 shots, but you had nowhere for your feet to go. So you just, eventually you peed, just same thing, the problem he was having. Same, once you petered out, he just stabbed you, right? You should have read his intent ahead of time. So he was out here and he's playing like, boom, and he wants to kind of, to force a hole, get a sneak in there, but he realized he couldn't, your defense is tight, so he switched it this way. And then when he did that, he dropped his sword down here. Now what he did was he intentionally put this leg in a range, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's a trap, but a lot of times it's like when that's, even some traps, like when they're there, right?
Yeah.
You just gotta know it. So what he did was, when you're there, he puts his leg in range, as soon as you peg it, he's counting on this. He's counting on you throw that leg and pull your shield in like this, because that's what most people do when they throw their shot, right? Don't do that. You know, his sword's down here. The only angle he can do is this up angle, right? So you go, bam, that's the shot. Not this, this, right? Don't lean out. But come under it, bam, when you throw.
Yeah.
He couldn't throw an offside, so the offside being open here, not a big deal. Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get fruit.
When you were having problems in the beginning, you were walking right up the middle, right? And he's got 2 energy balls.
Yeah.
So that's hard to deal with, and especially you cannot walk up the middle on a 2-sword, really, really bad. All right? You're gonna get the balls right in the face.
That's fair. So you brought up a point that people don't think of sometimes. So like the leaning thing, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm throwing a shot at you here, right, and I'm using this because it's a demonstration of why it's a problem. It's the same problem with one sword as it is with all.
Yeah.
But if you try to lean away, what happens? Like
My target just keeps
you just lean, right?
there.
It just goes
and
farther,
bigger
and I just
bigger
keep
and
chasing
bigger.
you, chasing you, chasing you. You know, it's extremely difficult for you to lean out of that. And if he's on top of you and doing that, trying to lean away is not going to work.
A lot of times,
Especially once he's lost a major tournament by letting somebody lean out of the way, he'll learn to lollipop and fire down at your neck hole, and you can't lean your neck hole out of the way.
That's why these are so great, right? Because it's just, this is here. You're not getting out of that. So if you just try to move this away, it's just going to be further away, but you're going to get hit.
not only is it an angle you can follow, but sometimes you make the angle bigger, right? So like we're here,
Yeah, that's so true.
and he beats me, and I lean away.
Yeah.
Look what I just look how far,
Real
look how much
estate.
of a hole he has now,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
You have to come, boom, here, bam. So I didn't lean.
Yeah.
I changed the angle.
You could
But
chuck
look,
your head in. Under the shield.
Again, kind of energy ballish,
Yeah.
right? I'm here, the energy's coming through this zone, right? I lean, go ahead, I lean. No matter how far I lean, it's gonna hit me, right?
Right.
But
And that's
instead,
kind of been doing the proper whole thing.
I just change my angle, go ahead,
Yeah.
boom, and I slip under it. Now he doesn't have that, now he's got it back, he's got other stuff he could do, sure. But all I did was change that angle. I know it's coming here, so I just went like this. Boom. Like that could very well hit me too, it's just gonna slide off.
Yeah.
Because the angle of my helmet and the angle that the force is going is not gonna
And
hit me.
they just don't hit right.
Yeah.
You really want to hit in here, down here, make them solid. Anything up here is iffy as hell, and anything up here is
Yep,
gonna mess
but I
up.
intentionally did that with my shield dropped to show you the angle difference that you can make just by that little, and that
Absolutely,
was
yeah.
not, that wasn't me going here. Ideally, I'm going here. Notice I don't lean that way either because now this foot is pinned to the ground. So it's not leaning bad this way, the same way the other one is, but it's leaning because you're pinning your foot. But if I do this, boom, now I'm not pinned.
Yep.
Now I can rotate out this way. I can come back here, right? I am on that foot. All my weight's on that foot, which means the next foot I have to move is this one. That's a disadvantage, but it's a disadvantage you know. So,
And
But tons of people do that thing where they do this, and it just it doesn't happen. It moves all your center balance back and screws everything up.
And when you work through the things, you always want to think. So what, like you can almost, it's almost like Pell work of when I beat this move, like Tom did the back cut. So you could think I'm gonna fight Tom, he's gonna do the helicopter and I'm gonna step under it, right? So I'm gonna step under it here. I know this is his next move. And if I don't know, I could go, all right, I do this. All right, his weapon's right here. I have to deal with it. And so now I can practice, you know, bam, bam, stop him, and attack. I stop with both hands just in case it's somebody stronger than I expect.
yeah.
You don't have to, but if your
Makes
left
sense,
arm's
though.
strong enough, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like it because then I can trap them and sort of push them down and roll off.
It falls clearly into the position over submission side of things. You're making sure you survive so you can get a better shot.
Yeah, I feel like the weapon style dominance is so much in my favor that there's no reason to do anything risky. I make sure I live and I'm positionally dominant on top of that. Because I'm right up on you and you're over here. You're over here doing this. I mean, that's a really bad spot for you. All I got to do is make sure I don't die.
Yep. Yeah.
So what is
From
your
my
plan?
standpoint, I'm going to try to raise your shield up to make it be my shield.
What's your plan?
Or if I can. Oh, yeah, if I can do that too. But both of those are still an
Attacking.
advantage.
The two sword. What's your plan to fight him?
So in general, sort of trying to stay off the middle line and put pressure on either one sword or the other. Often I try to control left hand because it's easier.
Rolling off like this.
So protecting the shots that I can take when I move into that position. So often I shift my shield more into a slightly, like I'm fighting a left-handed fighter.
Sure.
And then essentially trying to control that left hand while making him try to do something. Or like when I was fighting you, one of the things I was doing was I was pressuring and juking a little bit to try to see how you would react to it.
Controlling and how?
Yeah, and then throws.
Offensive pressure?
Not that direction.
Essentially, yeah, offensive pressure. You center it somewhere just above the
You
basket.
can use the spin
Usually.
more of it, so you can kind of go.
That's good. That is step one. What about his right hand?
Head and come up under my hand with the
So
with that.
being aware of where he can throw with that and covering it defensively.
Okay.
So
You have the right
where do you
answers,
use
you're
the
not
side?
executing
Where
them
you
the
are,
right way.
so-
Okay.
So
You're trying to
get
throw
your
this?
stuff on. Your
And he
swords up.
catches it there.
Well, she sees me come here, and I suggest.
So I do very much similar to that. I take a line and I say, okay, I want to threaten this. What do I want to threaten about it? First, I don't want him starting, right? Because what happens when he starts?
from this.
he forces me into a reaction that he can take advantage of with his left, with his other swords,
Yeah.
while retaining the ability to bounce out of
He's
range.
just gonna
I
push
don't
right
like
through
any of
center.
that, right?
Yeah.
If he just comes
So
straight
I want
forward,
to start, and I want to be far enough away that anything he does to me out here is not like as soon as that first one comes, right? I don't just stand there and absorb it because I know that hip thrust is coming, right? So he throws,
If you're here, you
and I
push
go,
up.
oh, bam, that's no good. I don't want to be there. So he throws, and I go, oh, no, boom, I'm out. Now notice he dropped that sword. That gives me information. Now I know exactly the combo he wants, right?
Yeah.
So next he throws,
And I can do this, like, you
boom,
respect me for that, or I
right? Notice what I did there.
I see this,
I
like, that's where I like this one up a lot.
I actually shortcutted it since we're on video. I'll do it better. Go ahead.
If I try to do this, you can roll me
I'm stepping out.
really hard.
Yeah.
And then, but see,
Bam, cover. That's no longer a threat, so I can pull this here. And now my right leg is forward, so I have good stretch out. Bam, right?
And you're rotating out of that shot as well, so it'll
Yeah.
bounce off
And
you.
there's
Yep.
no room for me to
So-
put my arm right.
Right. It's just a design
That's
of
one
space.
when you're looking to counterpunch that,
It's not
right?
a.
Notice though, I'm doing the same thing. I'm
So it's like
using
shutting
movement to
down
control
that avenue.
what is dangerous, right? And I'm staying away from the energy bubble. And the one that's in is the one that I take advantage of because it has to switch to offense. Once I'm over here, that has to be his offense because he's got no other way to hit me,
Controlling that.
right? So once that's on offense, I can attack that side. It's vulnerable, right? I just got to worry not to make a mistake. The next thing that I'll do, or the other thing I do, and this is the one I prefer to do more, is
If I'm not
I
controlling the pace
commit
he is, he's winning that fight.
Right.
If I'm
my
controlling the
sword
pace, I at least
to an
get better
attack
defense with it.
that he has to respect with his hilt. And then I ditch, I use my footwork and my shield to cover the other attack. So for an example, we're here, and I go, I don't just do this, boom, because what happens then?